What's happening, everybody? My name is Grim. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at FP1 and FP2 of the Japanese Grand Prix heading into qualifying.
Yo, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at FP1 and FP2, going through the news, going into Friday and into the morning of Saturday. And let's get this video underway. Now, FP1 was pretty dramatic with Logan Sargent crashing out during FP1 once again. Luckily, he spun and hit the front nose cone of the car. Reports came out after and James Vallance confirmed the chassis was fine, but there was a crack in the gearbox and multiple other issues with that Williams, which was unfortunate for Logan. But then I was thinking last night, I was like, did Logan Sargent take Max Verstappen's idea and say, when Max goes, you know what, I will just bin the car? Did Logan Sargent take that realistically and throw the car into the barrier on purpose? Listen, I doubt it. I'm joking. But it was pretty funny. After Max said that last time out in Australia, Logan did put it into the wall, and the comments were very funny. But Logan's not the same driver as Max Verstappen, where Max was one of those drivers that every single team wanted, where Logan, unfortunately, no disrespect to him, but isn't. So that's just is what it is. And interesting to see Logan Sargent come out of the car. He was very sorry and didn't take part in FP2 after the incident. But it was all smooth sailing for Max Verstappen and Red Bull once again, with Max Verstappen P1 with a 130.056 with 18 laps. Sergio Perez was 0.181 seconds off Max Verstappen's best time in P2. Carlos Sainz was P3 for Ferrari, performing once again, but he was, Carlos outperforming Charles, who was down in P6. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell actually split in the Mercedes. Everyone was surprised, but you got to remember, they were nearly half a second off Max Verstappen's best time. Lewis Hamilton came out and said, this is the best the car's felt all season. If it is, that's a very big alarm bell, because they're almost half a second slower than Max Verstappen here in Japan. That's pretty crazy. George Russell in P4, Lewis Hamilton P5, like I said, Charles Leclerc P6, Aston Martin for Fernando Alonso P7, Oscar Piastri P8, 9th Yuki Tsunoda getting his RB into the top 10, so good result for Yuki, and P10 Lando Norris. And unfortunately, Lance Stroll was down the bottom in P15. Don't know if he was doing another different run or something, but he was down the bottom. Obviously, Logan Sargent crashed out, but Kevin Magnussen down in P19, Zhou struggling in P18. Iwasa, who took the RB off Daniel Ricciardo, was in P16. He was 2 seconds off the pace, but it wasn't a bad result for him. Not crashing the car and, doing a pretty decent job for the RB team. Nico Hülkenberg sliming up into P13. Good job for him. And Alexander Albon, of course, P12, just out of the top 10. And Esteban Ocon, surprisingly, was P11, but I think they would have done a really low fuel run. I don't know about that. And the rumor was that Max Verstappen was not even on a low fuel run during his best time during free practice 1. Listen, Ferrari, Mercedes tend to be a bit slower during FP1 and show their pace. But we had a rain-affected FP2, which mixed up the grid a little bit. There wasn't a lot of cars out. You'd think that teams would do more low fuel running in FP1 if that was the case, and they knew the rain was coming. But during FP2, of course, Oscar Piastri topped the session. Lewis Hamilton P2 and Charles Leclerc P3. Now everyone was saying that if that was the grid going in to Sunday's race, everyone would be super stoked. And honestly, I'd be happy to see Oscar Piastri versus Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1 with Charles Leclerc in the mix. Tsunoda P4, Daniel Ricciardo P5. Ricciardo saying it was too much rain. And unfortunately for Daniel Ricciardo, didn't get any or very low running. Only got 9 laps and it was a rain-affected session. Missed out on FP1, so he's on the back foot going into practice 3 and qualifying. Zhou P6, 7th Bottas. They both done 7 laps each. Alexander Albon bringing the Williams out. He's done 5 laps, no set time, but Albon goes, it's ready for slicks, and there was a funny comment saying, James Vowles will probably be saying, no, it's not ready for slicks, because, we have one car in the race, Alex. Kevin Magnussen, P9, 10th Hülkenberg, 11th Carlos Sainz, who only done 3 laps, and then Norris, P12, who also only done 3 laps, and Esteban Ocon getting out there as well for his Alpine, only doing 3 laps. The only people to have timed laps was Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and Oscar Piastri. And it was surprisingly that Daniel Ricciardo did the most laps with 9 laps compared to everybody else, but no time lapse for Daniel Ricciardo. Making news going into qualifying, Leclerc thinks that Ferrari are lacking pace compared to Red Bull. Mike Crack is happy with the technical lineup, even though they had Adrian Newey links going into the weekend saying that Lawrence Stroll has offered him big money. But with Mike Crack saying that, does that beg the question that he said no to the money and is not going to Aston Martin? Logan Sargent has come out to say that he made a silly error during his FP1 crash, and then said, it shouldn't be happening in an FP1 session. Listen, things happen, but it's unfortunate for Logan going into practice 3 and qualifying pretty much for his season. And also, there was reports by Ralf Schumacher saying that he is only on a half-year contract, doesn't even have a full season contract. If this is the case, does that open the door for Kimi Antonelli coming to Formula 1 mid-season? Listen, I don't agree with mid-driver swaps during mid-season. I think every driver should have a whole season in Formula 1. No matter how bad they are, they can always improve. But obviously, unless they're like 10 seconds off the pace, no. But at the end of the day, every driver deserves the benefit of the doubt. Every driver deserves to prove themselves. So I think Logan should stay the whole season. Then if he doesn't perform, switch him for Antonelli, switch him for someone else, switch him for a Mick Schumacher. I don't know, switch him for someone else. But he deserves the full season to prove himself and try and beat Alex Albon and impress Williams. All right, my predictions going into qualifying for this Japanese Grand Prix. I think Max Verstappen is going to be on pole. I think we're going to have Charles Leclerc P2. P3, I think we're going to have Carlos Sainz. P4, Sergio Perez. P5, George Russell. And P6, Lewis Hamilton. P7, Oscar Piastri. P8, let's say Fernando Alonso. 9th, Lando Norris. And 10th, Yuki Tsunoda. So that's going to be my top 10. I just threw out a wild card, but my top 3 are the more predictable ones. I don't think Lance Stroll is going to make Q3, unfortunately. I really love Stroll, massive fan, but hopefully he can. Fingers crossed. Let's see if Yuki can do anything. I think Ricciardo's on the back foot. There's a lot of questions being asked going into practice 3 and qualifying, so stay tuned for that. Guys, thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I will see you guys after qualifying with the practice 3 and qualifying rundown. See you guys in my next Formula 1 video. Thank you.